Hi, this is Instructor Deb Wallace, and this is a video tutorial on setting up a set for Quizlet. Quizlet is an online app that allows for students and teachers to conduct their classes, and specifically for teachers to help students grasp concepts. So what happens is that a student or a teacher actually sets up a class. As you can see, I have classes set up here, my Black Experience, Diversity, the Intro to Pan-African Studies. And when the class is set up, you would go to that class and you can add a set of concepts for a class, or this could be your lesson. So if you want to set up a lesson, and this is specifically for students who are using this application, you would add a new set or add a set. And what you want to do is you want to create a new set. So what this would allow you to do is to create a new set or a new chapter or unit, as you can see up here, and you would just type in your chapter 11. And then for each term or concept, you would enter the term. So we'll find a term for chapter 11, which is, let's see here. We'll use and we'll enter our definition. And then you'll notice for each new term and for the first new term and the new definition, the matching the corresponding definition, you're going to get a prompt to make sure that the language that's being used is the right language. So you see here that the prompt here is asking if it's English. And so yes, it is English. So I'm just going to choose yes. And this will happen for the first two definitions of every new set that's created. So we'll add a few more terms. So I added a few more terms to this new set for the Black Experience class, and you'll notice that the terms and the definitions correspond with one another. I want to point out a couple of things when you are creating a new set of terms or creating a chapter, unit, study guide for your class. One, I want to point out, who this is visible to. So you can change this. For this particular application, you see here that this application and this set is visible to everyone. I'm going to change this so that it is only visible to just me, right? I'm going to save it. The other thing that I'm going to change is, right, it's visible and it's only edited by me, right? So you also have the option of changing the language, right? You see here for both the English and for both the definition and the term. The other thing that I want to point out is that you can import this to Word, Google Docs, ECT. So I have not tried that yet, but that's something that I just wanted to note as well. So let me go ahead and go to this button where it says create. Here, if you're done with all of your terms, you just want to hit create, and this will automatically save all of your terms. I would suggest making sure that you save as you go along, just as you would if you were typing your terms out, in a Word document. Make sure you save as you go along. Now, if you decide that you want to add or remove terms, you would just click this button down here where it says add or remove. And you can either, let's scroll down, you can either delete, this allows you to delete, or you can add an additional card, which will add another line where you can add your term and you can add your definition. So let me click, right? So if I decided I didn't want the Militia Act, I would just delete it, and you see that goes away. But if I want to add the Militia Act, And I put my definition. And I would just hit done. And done would allow my card to save again. And I'd go back to the screen. Okay? So, how do I add people? So this is what I do when I want to add people. So I would go to my study sets. As you can see, I went to my profile. And you'll notice that go ahead and add this study set. I'm going to add this to this class, right? So when I go back to my study set, the chapter 11 should be, back here, it should be part of the Black Experience class here. So you see that the chapter 10 and chapter 11 are part of the Black Experience class. So what do I want to do? So what if I want to add people to the my Black Experience class so that they have access to my study sets? I would just add members. So what I would do is I can actually add a bunch of emails. So I would go to wherever my email addresses are stored. I would copy and paste them and make sure that they're separated by commas per the prompt here. And then I would send out my invites. Once I send those invites out, everybody would have to respond by accepting my request. Once they accept my request, their names will show up here, and I will let them have access to anything that's in this class. Okay? So I wanted to make sure that I provide that for you, that information for you, should you decide that you want to use Quizlet as an activity, or if you're an instructor, you want to use Quizlet as a learning management tool for your class. It's pretty easy to use. So let me go to one of these sets. I'm going to go to chapter 10 set. The other thing that I want to point out in terms of the actuals, how you can use this application is, so if you want to do one-on-one study, you know that you can actually, if you don't know, that there are several ways that you can study. So you can actually use the flashcard mode, which is pretty cool. You can shuffle the flashcards around. I'm going to go back. You can actually type out, right? The answers, right? So I'm going to go back, right? Pay attention because this application is very sensitive. So if you have your answer typed in a certain way and your students type in the answer without a hyphen, as you saw, for no nothings, it will mark the answer wrong. So keep that in mind too. This application also allows for you to spell, so it will spell out, or you can hear, right? So listen to this. Maybe not. This option, actually, I'm surprised because you should be able to hear. Let's see.
Kansas, Nebraska Act.
Ah, so you can hear it. So I had to press the escape key in order to actually hear the term.
Kansas, Nebraska Act.
There we go.
Kansas, Nebraska Act.
So that's an option. So if you want to practice, have your students practice, or if you want to have your participants practice spelling out the term or spelling out the concept, there is that option. There is the option of doing an actual test. So you can provide students with the option of looking at different testing methods. So you have the fill in the blank, the multiple choice, a true and false, and then they can check their answers. Let's go back. And then let's see what else. There's the matching, and these are games. So play only. So matching games, and then the live version. So if you haven't looked at the matching, I'll show you the matching. So this is where you match the term with the definition. Let's see here. So this would go there. Knocks it out. This would go here, 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 should knock it out. This would go here. Oh, this would go there. This would go there. This would go there. And you see, great start. So you can play it again. I'm not going to play it again, but this just lets you see your time in terms of how fast you could beat the clock here. So we're just going to go back. I'm not going to do that anymore. This is a gravity game. It's pretty cool. So if you're interested in playing a game, this is how this works. I'll get started. Let's go. So you would have to type very fast in order to win this game. You know I'm going to not type very fast. Restart. So I'm going to go back. So you would need to know the answers and type those answers in pretty quickly. I'm going to go back. The last thing that I want to show you is the live. For this portion of Quizlet, you need to make sure that you actually have to create the game, that you actually have 6 or more players. And if you don't, it won't let you participate. And as you see here, it says, sorry, your set needs at least 12 unique terms and definitions to start a game. So you need to make sure that you have at least 12 definitions in your set in order to actually get people to play the game. Okay? So I am going to pause right here, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email address is dmw68@zips.uakron.edu, and I'll be happy to walk you through this process of setting up your sets. I'll be happy to walk you through the process of looking at the other features of Quizlet, should you decide that you want to use this for your class or for your presentation.